Well, let's get some more analysis, and we can speak now to Ariane Bogain, who is a senior lecturer in French politics at Northumbria University. Thank you so much for joining us. What do you think the unions are going to do next?
Well, they'll have, we are entering the final stage. It's the final push to try and force the government to back down. For that, they need to bring the country to a standstill. They need to paralyze the economy. Yesterday was not really successful in that respect because the country was not at a standstill. The economy was not paralyzed. So the union will have to do more, and they have about 2 weeks and a half to do it. They'll have to ensure that there are more strikes, or at least strikes in the key sectors so that the economy can be paralyzed. But it's really difficult to do. So it's the kind of like last chance saloon. Next 2 weeks, they have to really, do better than yesterday. Yes, yesterday we had big numbers on the street, but that is not enough. Now it's got to be, for them anyway, it's got to be strikes, rolling strikes.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a nationwide demonstrations on Saturday right across France. I mean, do you think things could turn nasty at that point?
So far, we've had 6 days and it's been very peaceful. However, yesterday we started seeing, slightly more violence. Saturday would be a really good day to check if people are turning more radical, because they can see that what they've been doing is not swaying the government. So that's definitely something to look out for. And it's on a Saturday where more people can go to a strike than during the day. So yes, it's definitely something to look out for.
The government spokesperson says they're open for dialogue. What's there to talk about? I mean, are there any compromises to be made, in your opinion?
No, there's nothing the government can offer that would change people's opinion, because what people are against is to increase the legal age. That's the key plank of the government reform. So the government can talk all it wants about, long career or criteria for women or whatever. It's not going to sway people. There is nothing the government can do at this stage to change people's opinion. And it has lost already the battle for public opinion. So all the government can do now is lie low, try not to antagonize or inflame the situation, keep the same messaging, and run the parliamentary clock down.
I mean, for people who aren't in France and who perhaps don't know the ins and outs of it, they might be thinking, look, if people are living longer, there isn't going to be enough money in the pension pot for all of these people in the future. Macron wouldn't be doing this if he didn't have to, because it's hardly going to make him any new friends, and it can't be an easy policy to implement on his part. I mean, there aren't any alternatives, are there?
Well, I mean, they might be right in saying this, but the issue is not so much do we need to reform the pension. The issue is how should we do it? And Macron himself changed his tune, because in 2019 he wanted to totally reform it, to create a new system. The question is not do we need to do it? Yes, we do, because we know about the demography. The demography. But the question is, how are we doing it? He decided that he doesn't want to increase tax. That's a political decision. Other alternatives exist, and there have been so many papers, reports, outlining those other possibilities, like slightly raising contribution, or making pensioners contribute through taxation, or making companies contribute. Now, these obviously are not going to be popular either, but they will be far more popular than what Macron is proposing, which is to increase the length of time that we have to work. That's what people are against. Not so much we need to reform the pension, it's how we do it.
And just looking forwards to what happens in the next couple of weeks, I mean, is your hunch that these reforms will probably go ahead regardless of all of this opposition?
I think, and these are really big ifs. If the unions succeed in paralyzing the economy and keeping public support with them, then the government might have to back down. But it's a really big if, and they will have to do, as I said before, far more than they did yesterday. If it stays like yesterday, then there is, in all likelihood, it will go through. It will lead to resentment, anger, and everything, but it will probably go through unless the union can change the situation in the next 2 weeks.
OK, well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Ariane Bogain, Senior Lecturer in French Politics at Northumbria University. Thank you very much indeed.